Life DIY Josie here, where life stands for low budget ideas for everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Here's another DIY organization idea that won't break the bank. I will be making two pull-out organizers using these two packaging boxes that you see here on top of the cube organizer. This is going to be part of a series of upcycling projects. First, I am going to be dismantling this box. I'm going to be disconnecting it from one side. It's just easy to do that. I just look at the seams and then look at where it connects. Usually you will see it from the inner part of the box. Next, I am going to put it back together by turning it inside out. I will be connecting the seams again, but this time the inner part, which is the plain white, will be on the outer part of the box, and then the printed part will be in the inner part of the box, giving the box a more neutral and cleaner look. So I reassemble the box first, and then I will put the seams back together again on the corner where I disconnected earlier. This portion here is a bit tricky and challenging, aside from the fact that my two fingers, I do have what you call the trigger fingers, and so it's a little bit painful. That's why you see the slings there, but at the same time it is really tricky to connect the bottom part, but it worked out fine after a few tries. And then what I've decided is to put the corner back together again by using a transparent tape or a packaging tape. And the good thing about this organizer that I'm gonna make, whatever the look that you see here, there's some kind of a rip there that you see. That's because that's where the glue was before. So that's gonna be a little bit of a flaw, but the good thing is this is gonna be the back side of this box. So this will not be showing. To avoid this mistake, what I should have done was to connect it back and where the flap is on the outer part instead of the inner part, as you can see on the inset, to give it a cleaner look. It was a bit late when I realized I didn't want to dismantle this again, but I did it on the second box. Like I said, it doesn't really bother me. This is going to be the back part of the box. After inspecting the box, especially the bottom part, because I don't want that to kind of cave in, I just want to make sure that when I use this, especially if I put something a little heavy, that it will not open up or unravel. So I'm going to make some cuts here. I'll be cutting these flaps that you see around. So first you will see me cutting 3 flaps, but towards the end you will see me cutting the last flap, because I just want to show you the iteration wherein it will have a cover, but finally what the outcome that I had achieved here is an open, kind of like a pull-out drawer style of organizer and no top. But I just want to show you that if you want something that has a top, if you want to kind of stack them up one on top of each other, then you can see an iteration where it has a cover. Like I said, I kept the 4th flap, this longer flap that has the hole on the top, so that I can show you that this can have a cover even though the other 3 flaps were removed. So just in case you still want to have a cover, I was even thinking about using this like a dispenser for garbage bags. That's a possibility too, and then just use the top as a dispenser for the garbage bags. But I'm not using it for that purpose. I'm just showing you that's a possibility. And you know, whenever I do an organizer, I just want it to be multi-purpose and a little bit versatile so that you can use it for different purposes. So next, I'm going to be removing the plastic handle from one of the long flaps that I cut earlier. Then I'm using this flap as a template so that I can use it to guide me to where I'm going to be puncturing the holes, the two holes where the handle will be reinserted. As you can see, I'm just using one of the pointed parts of the scissors, but you can use a box cutter or even a blade to cut through, or even a knife, but I just use the scissors because I have it handy already. Then I'm reinserting the handle that I removed earlier, one end to each of the hole. I'm also putting the back guard for the handle so that it doesn't unravel, keeping it secured. I am placing this flap where the handle used to be as a bottom liner. This will reinforce the bottom part of the box. I'm testing out the cover again because at this point I was still not quite sure yet whether I will cut it off or I'm gonna keep it. And because once I cut it, there's no turning back. So at this point, I am just checking it out if this is the look that I want. So I have completed the second box as well, following the same steps. The only difference is the one I mentioned you earlier, that the corner where I cut the seams or disconnect and reconnect, it's a much cleaner look. I'm going to be putting these boxes as a pull-out kind of drawer style organizer inside this cabinet in our kitchen. I'm going to be using these boxes to organize my glass containers, food containers. So first, what I'm going to do here on this first one is to insert a styrofoam, which was also part of the packaging that came with the shipment for those glass containers. However, the original packaging box is no longer usable. Fortunately, this styrofoam is a perfect fit. I'm now going to put in the glass containers to see if they are all going to fit. I have like 5 pieces of this similar size, and I'm going to organize them this way. And that's when I've decided to also cut the last flap because I will not be able to close it. I am going to fold this and then tape them up to the sides instead of cutting them because I think that will weaken those sides. So instead of doing that, I am just going to be taping these 2 pieces here to the box side to keep them in place. Putting it now inside this cabinet, This is the perfect location for me to organize my food containers. And because these are breakable, these glass containers, I am glad that I have a place for them to keep them secured. And I have also the smaller glass containers and other containers here in this cabinet, but I place them also in this box here so that they're secured. And I also have the other refrigerator organizers, and I am going to keep them here. And since this cabinet is just next to the refrigerator, everything will be in easy reach whenever I need to organize the refrigerator. The two pull-out boxes worked out perfectly for organizing my containers. I've been trying to think of ways to organize and secure these glass containers because I don't want to break them. Also, since this cabinet shelf is so deep that I would need something that I can easily pull out and push in, and the handles help me accomplish that. I do understand that not everyone will have the same box as I do. You can easily recreate this with any type of box. You can even cover boxes with decorative paper and then use handles made of rope or nautical rope. Dollar Tree sells them. Also, those nylon ropes that they sell at Dollar Tree, they're very durable. Or even from old gift bags that you can just remove the handles, or even use thick ribbons or fabrics. The possibilities are endless. Just use your imagination. Hopefully, this inspires you to do the same thing. Instead of throwing away things, convert them into something more usable and practical without breaking the bank. I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone, and I hope that I inspired you also to upcycle, reuse, and recycle to help the environment. Take care, everyone, and I'll talk to you again on my next video. Bye-bye!